Fashion is everything to me. Um, Fashion is my passion. That's like something that's very cliche to say, but it's true. I feel like fashion has the idea, it predicts what's going to happen in the future. Fashion, it's like fashion, it predicts but also speaks about what's happening now. If you see the last season New York Fashion Week, you saw all the designers who had the future is female shirts and all of that. It's like speaking on what society is going through, and I think that it's a good way to actually use fashion to document historical events.
So Ali Saab just came out with her new fashion line for Paris Fashion Week, and it's absolutely crazy. Like, just the close-ups, like, I like texture. Like, the pieces I showed you, there was one with like fur and stuff, and a lot of her new stuff has like furry shoes and just like small details like that really inspire me. And I think more I look at people like Rihanna, people who can like are out of the box and can still do things and like aren't scared to do it. And like that's another thing New York has taught me, that anyone can really truly pull anything off. It's just if you have the confidence for it.
A lot of times I used to work at a luxury consignment store, and every once in a while I was on the floor and people would ask me, does this look good on me? And it was like always like, does this make me look fat, or do you think I can like wear these shoes? And it's like, yeah, you can wear anything. There's no rules. Like, you don't have to have like the right body type to wear these like high heels.
I feel like people appreciate how they look more where I like here than where I was from, so it makes me feel less guilty about wanting to dress up, because I genuinely enjoy it. I don't feel like I'm competing with anyone, but I appreciate style more here because, you know, people appreciate that and they put effort in how they look.
Where I live, which is Scottsdale, is very conservative. This is probably relatable, but like everybody wears the same thing, like, you know, the Lululemon pants, like jean shorts, t-shirts. You know, it's not like a bad look, but it's not like a fun look.
Being a creative now is like such a fad, just to portray yourself as a creative. So there's definitely kids that I went to school with that I think wanted to be different, not because they were, but because that was like the cool thing to do. And that's what I mean when kids like that would come to the new school, and I feel like it'd feel better because there's more people like that. But
people here that are like different and that wear, you know, really unusual clothes, which is, you know, the way I dress is really normal here, whereas where I'm from is like weird and unusual. So I just want to like go more and more unusual.
Like, everyone in Africa dresses very differently, but I think the goal in Africa is to be as flashy as you want. Mm-hmm. Well, especially in where I'm from, it's like you wear the brightest colors and the brightest print, and you put on the brightest makeup that probably doesn't even go with your complexion, but that's okay. But because that's what is viewed as beautiful. That's what is viewed as you standing out, you looking better than like the next person at the party. Because in the end of the day, you guys have the same tailor.
Most of the places I looked at were like in Minneapolis, or, I mean, Madison's not a huge city, but it's a nice city. Mm-hmm. And I looked at like one school in Portland. But I think also like New York is really, when I was coming here I wanted to do fashion design, and New York is really like the hub for that.
After Parsons, I want to go to Paris. Like, that's where I imagine me spending the rest of my life. I've never been to Paris, but it's somewhere that I've always wanted to go to. And I want to go there and move my business there and hopefully work for Chanel, which is like one of my favorite brands. I love Chanel because of the embroidery and all the work that goes into the making of the clothes. And I think I'm more fascinated with the craftsmanship of clothing rather than like just seeing something on the runway. I appreciate when someone takes the time.
And then I also just like, you know, looking at people that go to Parsons and looking at what they're wearing, and people around New York. Fashion itself is kind of weird because like that has a lot of connotations, and I feel like it has a lot of like when I was telling people I was going to school for fashion design, people are like, oh, you know, it's like not a real career, even though it really is a real career. Like, people make millions of dollars, but it's like very frivolous and, you know, stuff little girls like, I guess. And like, it's fun, even if it's not like a necessity that I wear. weird and unusual stuff, like it's fun. I like it.